Joining us now is Rocco, and we're going to be talking about this beautiful product line called Uplift Provisions. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. How are you?
Fabulous. We got a chance to talk, I guess maybe about a month ago. Had a long conversation about your product line. What made you decide to start this?
Honestly, Donna, this brand saved my life. It's given me purpose. Coming from 20 years just about background in the hair industry, long lineage of family, creating something that I can share not just with my clients, but anybody that's open to trying new products, as well as having a good product for kids as well as women and men. There's no demographic for our products. They're made for everybody.
And when you say made for everybody, it's about the way that it's made, but also how it's packaged. So let's talk about how it's made and why this product line might be a little better choice than others.
That's a great question. I mean, I've seen a lot of brands over the years, and having something as far as packaging that's not too over masculine and not too feminine, and having it in the bathroom or on a shelf, it really just brings this comfort when you look at it. It can go on any shelf, just even being on your desk. It captures you, the very essence. But the ingredients and the work that goes into it, we're constantly trying to, create and have a sustainable product, and sourcing ingredients locally within our regions and keeping our products as we make them in the United States, and as well as just having a clean product to use on the daily.
Uplifting also because they have inspirational messages on them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. I'm all about like the live it up tip for the day, right? And so when you get a chance to use this, this one, they have different quotes, they have different things that like help your day, right? It's just a little joy, right? So one of the things too, that the ingredients that I thought was interesting is you started it out like hand making these, like
Yeah.
small batch, right?
Yeah.
So what is it about the products that are less toxic, I suppose, right?
Yeah, great question again. So I have really sensitive sinuses, right? And anything too cologne-y, too like tobacco or strong. I spend a lot of time in Whole Foods going around the aisles and smelling essential oils. And peppermint has always been a scent that helps like kind of settle and calming, but also for my sinuses. And the lime. So everything about this brand is uplifting. The peppermint helps with the hair follicle, so it brings blood flow. So think about if you have a headache, you smell peppermint, it brings blood flow to release, especially up to the brain. But when you put it on the hair, it actually promotes healthy hair growth, as well as kills bacteria in the hair. The lime swells the hair follicle. So I think the scent, especially going back to a product that's not overly masculine, not overly feminine, that's really for everybody, even kids. I don't really want to put anything with a strong scent on like a 4 or 5-year-old kid. This is something that washes out nice, and we always have a really strong complement on the scent.
You also created something that, like, instead of sitting on the skin, right, is actually better for you, right? Let's talk about that technology. You mentioned it last night at dinner, and I was kind of fascinated. And I was like, oh, I want to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, great question again. So this is our texture powder.
Okay.
There's many on the market, but what makes us different is we make it and it's water-based. So it actually absorbs into the hair versus laying on the scalp. So a lot of the times,
Okay, that was the key. Okay,
yeah,
so
product buildup. And we really just love this product because it's in a pump. We pump, we don't dump. Ladies love this in their purses, especially if they're on the go or they're leaving the gym. Just a little bit goes a long way. We let the dust settle, and then it's an amazing workable product. But I think the absolute benefit of all of these products is we're tied into our nonprofit where we help families that are struggling with addiction. And I think just having this symbol where you can see the brand and the name, it's just something to give you confidence to get through that day, or as a reminder.
you've had loss in your own personal life, right? Yeah, many people in our audience have, sadly, whether it's like a loss to a family member because of addiction or things like that. And you also give back.
Yeah.
Right? What is the give back of Uplift?
So coming from my background, I lost two sisters to addiction. I'm celebrating 9 years of sobriety. My brother's sober, my fiance's sober, my whole network. I wouldn't have this brand without my sobriety. So always going back to the root. The Family Restored, it's a group of families that get together to give support for each other, that whether there's someone that they've lost or they're new to it, to get education from in-person to Zoom meetings. We also help raise money for those that can't afford treatment. And I think that that's an extremely important program to partner with everything going on. And again, meaning the name Uplift, you know, uplifts your hair, uplifts your mood, uplifts people. And that, to me, is the biggest satisfaction I can have. You know, it's worth more than money to me to know that our fund helped save someone's life. And to not make it sad, but, you know, a lot of my friends that have years of sobriety, they're success stories. And it's amazing to be a part of that story.
I love being a part of your story and your journey. I was so happy that we met. This is one of your biggest sellers, right? Yeah. So this has like, it's like a kit, right? Yeah. What do you have in this?
So this is our ultimate matte pack, sea salt spray. You know, the kids with the broccoli hair tops, amazing product, awesome, awesome choice, especially if they're, you know, not taking 2 showers a day. This is something that they can spray in. It's not going to damage the hair. So we start with the sea salt spray. Our styling compound is also our top seller, which is a matte product. Not sticky, not greasy, washes out amazing. The kaolin clay does a really good benefit on dry scalp. And then, of course, our textured powder and textured dusts, actually. And we love this kit so that way you get a choice of all 3 and then see which one you like better, or you can cocktail them all together, and it makes a great finish.
You mentioned the clay because there's like a fun little quote on the clay.
Yeah.
What's the quote on the clay?
So the clay, if I can find it, it is right here. So this is probably one of the most trickiest products. It took years to master, and I'm extremely proud of this one because of, you know, the consistency of something that the client can also use, or the consumer that can also use. So when I got sober, I was really working with meditation, and I was actually teaching meditation classes for many recovery centers. Your life is a piece of clay, don't let anyone else mold it for you, by Lao Tzu. So
read that one more time for me, Rocco, because it sounds so good.
Your life is a piece of clay, don't let anyone else mold it for you.
Beautiful.
And I will say, I've grown with these. Sometimes I need a reminder, and I just look at the quotes, even when they're in my shower. I see that, and then it's a focus, you know. They always say when the plane goes down, the oxygen mask drops, you got to put it on yourself before you help the person next to you. We are no use to others unless we take care of ourselves. And I think it's not selfish to have a daily routine to better yourself so that you can be of use to everybody else. So that's really what it's all about.
And that's why you created the brand.
Yes.
Because you wanted to be in service to others. Right, and with all of your hair knowledge and all of that, is so exciting. And I don't usually do this, but I did ask you ahead of time because I wanted you to like maybe just play with my hair. So I'm going to sit right next to you. Yeah. So stay tuned. One moment. Here we go.
So again, a little bit goes a long way. What I like to do is give it a shake. I put a little bit in the root, and then the money piece. This is what everybody seems to love. Just a little bit. Let it settle, and then I just like to play with it and fluff it. It's going to work as a dry shampoo, especially when it's humid on the hot days. We do a lot of wedding hair for updos. This is one of our top sellers for that. And most of all, we just sponsored Miss Massachusetts and Miss Maine. And the girls seem to love it backstage, especially while they're changing their outfits.
Well, I'm a Gemini, so you need the side done too.
Yeah, we got to do both sides. So just a little bit.
So I've had people sing to me, but you were the very first guest in 18 years that has ever played with my hair or helped me work with my hair on camera. Rocco, thank you so very much. Stay tuned for more. We have been living it up right here with my new friend, Rocco. And if you notice, he's got this little cute, like, Boston accent. That's where he's from. Be well.